briefly introduce your background?
So I'm from Australia, but I lived all over the world. But actually, most of my adult life is here in Okinawa.
How long is the total stay in Okinawa?
Nearly 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
And what brought you to Okinawa?
So I'm a professional wrestler. So it was wrestling that brought me here. Yeah.
You've been wrestling in Okinawa since you came to Okinawa?
Yeah, since I came to Okinawa. So I initially signed a wrestling contract, and it was the first pro wrestling contract ever for an Australian wrestler. I signed a full-time contract for Osaka Pro Wrestling, and the owner of the company in Osaka who signed me, super famous wrestler from the 90s, named Super Delphin, and he had Osaka Pro Wrestling. Then he wanted to open up a new company here in Okinawa Pro Wrestling, and he said, Dingo, when I start this company, I want you to come to Okinawa to help me start the company.
Your wrestling journey in Japan has started in Osaka.
Started in Osaka, yeah.
So this is your mask?
Yeah, so I came to Okinawa initially. It was, I signed a 1-year contract. I'm only gonna, because we wrestled every day. We had matches every day, non-stop. So it was like a tough schedule. So I signed a 1-year contract, and then 20 years later, I'm still here. And so when I came to Okinawa, I didn't know too much about Okinawa, except though my passion was wrestling, Japanese wrestling and karate. So I knew Okinawa from the movies like The Karate Kid. And then I used to collect martial art magazines, Blitz magazine, Black Belt magazine. So inside they had in the center was a poster, and sometimes they had Okinawa karate masters. So this is pretty much all I knew about Okinawa was martial arts. So, but even as a kid, I thought, I didn't know where Okinawa was, but I thought one day I want to be in Okinawa. And then I got this chance when Super Dolphin said, you're coming to Okinawa.
Came true after.
It come true, right.
What's your mask names?
My mask name is Kijimuna, and this is the Kijimuna mask here. So of course you're from Okinawa, right? So you've heard of Kijimuna?
Yes.
Yeah. So when I came, I didn't know who Kijimuna was, and the Super Dolphin said, "Okay, Dingo, you're gonna be Kijimuna," and I'm like, what's Kijimuna? So I had to go internet cafe. I didn't have iPhone or cell phone, so I found the internet cafe, and I'm researching Okinawa and Kijimuna, and then I found Kijimuna is like a history of Okinawa people. They believe in like spirits and things like shizas, and Kijimuna spirit, that it's like a young boy spirit. He lives in the forest, in the banyan tree, Gajimul tree. And so I'm reading this at the internet cafe, and then I got to Okinawa a month before the debut of Okinawa Pro Wrestling. And so I'm in the mask and we're training for a month, and then the night before my debut, I'm in the Gashikujo, which is known as the wrestler's house. All the wrestlers, we just stay in one house. And I was sleeping the night before the show, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I felt this pressure on my chest. And then there was this red mist, and it was pushing down on my chest. I couldn't breathe, right? But I knew straight away, because I just had researched it on the internet, this is a trick that Kijimuna does. From Okinawa people that have seen Kijimuna, or young kids that have seen Kijimuna, he pushes down on your chest so you can't breathe. He thinks it's funny. And then I got him off my chest, and then in the corner of my room, it was a tatame room, and this red mist started just hovering around my room. And it sounds crazy, I know, right? But only Okinawa people. I'm not. I promise you, it's as real as this. For me, it's as real as this. And he said to me in my head, he's like, "Oh, so you're gonna be Kijimuna? You're gonna be me?" And I said, "Yeah, is that okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, I like you." He goes, "I'm gonna help you. You can be Kijimuna." So the next day, and I was like, it sounds strange, but I was like really happy at peaks, because I was really nervous before the debut of Okinawa Pro Wrestling. But Kijimuna just gave me his blessing. So I was like, so when I put the mask on, I knew how Kijimuna reacts. So it's not me in the mask.
Right.
Yeah, it's like another person, like Batman, you know? Like there's Bruce Wayne and there's Batman, or there's Dingo, and then there's Kijimuna.
Right. So you are an acknowledged person from the real Kijimuna. So you're Kijimuna.
I am the Kijimuna, I think, the first human Kijimuna. Which is crazy, I'm not Okinawan, right? But that really helped me to connect to Okinawa. Because then I was like, I feel I'm part of the culture. And then when people come to see me wrestle, they didn't know it was a gaijin inside the mask.
Right.
Everyone for years thought I was Japanese. So I feel like I became Okinawan through the mask of Kijimuna. So I think that's, for me, I'm very grateful to, I think, a unique experience than just being a wrestler in Okinawa. I feel like part of the culture.
Do you feel really connected to Okinawa with the masks?
Yeah, I think because I think the uniqueness of it with the company that I came into. So every wrestler had a unique Okinawa mask. So there was Habu mask, Shiza mask, Mongu mask, Yambaraquina mask, Mizuku mask. So everything was Okinawa themed. And then because it's pro wrestling, and pro wrestling's, you know, has a history of in the culture in Japan, and with Antonio Inoki. So the relation to Japanese people, Okinawa people, when they see a wrestler, it's really like they're really happy to see you. So we got very invited a lot to Okinawa culture, to participate in, like, because we were like famous, so we would go to festivals, we would participate in the mochi festivals. So we were like hitting the mochi, you know, we're always on the news, we were filming commercials for Bamboo Shoe and karaoke houses. So we were like everywhere, in the tug of war, you know, the giant tug of war, right? So we were there in the tug of war filming commercials for udon noodles restaurants. So we were really submerged in the Okinawa culture. So I think, yeah, I feel fortunate that I could be part of that. And then, like, Okinawa people are so welcoming, and so with the fact that the love of pro wrestling, especially for older people, because it brings back nostalgia memories. Oh, when I was a kid, I got to watch Riki Choshu and Antonio Inoki. So the connection is already there, and then Okinawa people are already so welcoming that they love the fact that you're doing something in Okinawa.
What do you like about Okinawa especially?
I think I love the history of martial arts, because I followed martial arts all my life. I was into all martial arts. I did everything from karate, judo, wrestling, everything. So for me, it was all someplace I wanted to be, and I knew that this is where I want to live in Asia. I didn't quite know Okinawa, but knew that I had to come here. So, and then because I signed only a 1-year contract, I thought that was it, but that 1 year became 20 years so quickly, because I fell in love with Okinawa, and it was, you know, I didn't want to leave, because just the people and the culture, it's so welcoming, and I get to work in a job that I wanted to do when I was a kid. So the fact that I'm doing what I love as a job, even though it's very painful, because I've broken every bone in my body. So the hospitals they know me when I would come in every week. So I think mostly that, I get to do what I love, and I get to be in one of the most beautiful places in the world, Okinawa.
So you're also wrestling now, right?
Still wrestling now. Okinawa Pro Wrestling finished, and then there's only ever been one pro wrestling company in Okinawa at a time. So it started with Okinawa Pro Wrestling, and that ended after 6 years. And then we got a new company coming in called Ryukyu Dragon Pro Wrestling. So with Ryukyu Dragon Pro Wrestling, it's, of course, based here in Okinawa. I don't wear a mask anymore. I'm not Kijimuna. No, not at the moment. Yeah, but I might come back. One day my dream is, before I retire, I'm coming back as a Kijimuna. And now I play a bad guy. In wrestling, it's called a heel. heel on their faces. So I'm a bad guy, and I had a gang. I made like a wrestling faction originally called Mad Dog Club.
Well, where can we see you wrestle?
Good question. So we wrestle all around Okinawa, yeah. So we wrestle in Naha, in Tempest, which is near Koksadori Street. We wrestle in Koza Music Town. We do a lot of festivals. We wrestle at outdoor festivals. Yeah, so pretty much at the moment we're wrestling maybe once every 2 weeks, sometimes more, depending on, you know, if it's Okinawa holidays or, yeah, so we're the entertainment for the Okinawa people.
Is there any piece of message you want to leave, especially for those who want to come to Okinawa to live or to wrestle, to do the martial arts?
Yeah, come. Hey, look, if you want, it's come. It's like, it's the birthplace of karate. I have a lot of friends that teach karate. I've seen everyone come from around the world and like come for a week, but then nobody wants to leave. Actually, I'm the lucky one that gets to stay. Everyone thinks when they come here, they realize after a week they never want to come back, but they have a job and they have a family waiting for them. So what they say is we have to go back to reality. Me, I never live in reality. I just live in Okinawa.
You are quite related to this place where we just had the interview, right?
Yeah, this is actually my favorite cafe. It's called Anji Moko, and the owners, all their sons, they do jiu-jitsu. They're some of the best jiu-jitsu on the island. Judo, they love pro wrestling. This all around the decor of this cafe is all pro wrestling. They're big fans of the Dingo. In the toilet, there's a giant poster of me in the toilet.
Right.
It's about as large as the roof. So this is, yeah, a really good place. And actually also they do vegan food. Actually, I'm vegan. So yeah, it's fantastic. Anji Moko is the best. Please check it out.
Thank you so much for doing the interview with me.
Hey, no, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. Hey.
Thank you.